In my previous video, I chronicled my effort to capture my first astrophotography mosaic of the Saturn region in the constellation Cygnus. The same night I finished that project, I started a new one, this time targeting the North America and Pelican nebulae in the same constellation, so join me as I continue on this new challenge, capturing deep space. It's a beautiful August morning, and it's that time of the year when monsoon season starts coming to an end, so the weekly forecast looks promising for astrophotography with mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. There's just one problem: the moon. This year, the Sturgeon moon peaks on August 19th, which is the same week we're forecast to have clear skies, but that doesn't completely rule out the possibility of imaging because I can use a narrowband filter that's very effective at blocking moonlight. Speaking of equipment, like usual for this project, I'm using my main setup. The optical tube assembly consists of equipment from William Optics, which includes a Zenith Star 61II apochromatic refractor telescope, a Uniguide 32mm guide scope, and a flat 61R field flattener to give me a wider field of view. Everything else is from ZWO, starting with the ASI 120mm mini guiding camera connected to the guide scope, an electronic autofocuser to maintain sharpness as the temperature drops through the night, an electronic filter wheel that cycles through different camera filters as needed, an ASI 294mm Pro monochrome astronomy camera with a built-in cooling system, an AM5 equatorial mount to track my target as it moves across the night sky, and all are connected to and controlled by an ASI Air Plus, a wireless mini computer that I can connect to using my smartphone or tablet to plan every aspect of my imaging session from start to finish. Now, I've shot the North American nebula before, but given how close the Pelican nebula is to it, I figured I'd take another shot at a mosaic. A mosaic's the same thing as a panorama in conventional photography. The area that I'm targeting is too big to fit into one frame, so I have to shoot it in different sections, also called tiles. One would think it shouldn't take too long to do this, but the kind of equipment that I use really drags things out. Because I use a monochrome camera that doesn't produce colors, I have to shoot through multiple filters on multiple nights and put it all together afterward to produce a colored image. I usually shoot through one filter per night, and when I've gotten enough hours on it, I move on to the next one. Depending on how many hours I want to put into each filter, it'll take me between 3 days to 6 weeks to complete my imaging. Of course, as every astrophotographer ever will tell you, a project isn't without its challenges, and this one was no different. The morning after I began, the outlet in my backyard died, so I resorted to my portable power station to get me through that night of imaging, but the next morning I noticed my AM5 didn't return to its home position like it should after an imaging session's done because my fully charged power station died overnight too. I chalked it up to the warm summer nights, making my camera's cooling system run harder than usual. The next morning, I noticed my car didn't charge overnight either, making that 2 dead outdoor outlets. I ended up finding the GFI outlet in the garage tripped, and after resetting it, I was able to continue imaging later that night and eventually completing the project. It's been nearly 30 days since I started this project, and I can finally say that I'm done. What you're about to see is the result of stacking a total of 444 sub-exposures between cloudy nights, between heavily moonlit nights, and whatever's left of the 2024 monsoon season. The total exposure time for this image is 33 hours, at last bringing together this mosaic of the North American Nebula and the Pelican Nebula. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you're into astrophotography or space in general, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, and follow me on social media. Until then, take care of yourselves, be kind to one another, and I wish for you clear skies.